you're playtesting wrong and it's killing your maps. I'm going to tell you the key things that I see map creators doing wrong when they ask for feedback and the way that you can benefit the most from your playtests. The secret tips that I share will blow your mind, so pay attention and listen thoroughly all the way through. I've watched countless playtests of my own maps and other people's maps, and there is a common mistake that I always see new devs make, and that destroys the purpose of the playtest in the first place. You must understand that your job in watching a playtest is to be an observer. An observer does not interrupt or intervene, it just sits there and observes. This is the first thing that you're doing wrong. Many devs are watching the playtester and holding their hand through the map. You should not be guiding the creator through your map at all. If you can notice that the playtester is unable to figure out what to do, then you have identified a problem with your map. It means that you've failed to make the map clear enough to understand what needs to be done. It's not obvious enough, or it's just simply too complex of a game loop. And you have to understand that Fortnite's player base is very vast. So your playtester is probably an adult. So if they can't understand, then a child most definitely will not. People come to your game to have fun and relax. They do not want to be sitting here figuring out what the objective is. And if you fail to make the objective clear, or your onboarding wasn't good enough, then they're already going to be, an actual player would already be gone into the next map. Fortnite's free and there's a million maps. They're not going to sit here just for you. So the next time you see your playtester getting lost and confused, think about how you can convey and display your objective simpler, easier, and better. And there's a lot of ways this can be done. Do not do it through a gigantic text wall. Nobody comes to Fortnite to read a novel. There's plenty of ways you can display your objective. One way is through a tracker, a HUD message device, a cinematic device, and if you're on 1.0, you could just go ahead and use a camera fixed point because you don't have cinematics yet. The last tip is going to blow your mind, so make sure you wait until that point. But before then, whenever you're getting a playtester, this might not always be possible, but ask them to record with their camera on and their microphone too. This allows you to see their emotional response to whatever they're going through in that game at that specific point. And now some people aren't very emotive, or their voice don't change very often. So this isn't always going to be very practical, but it's a good way to understand how they're feeling, if they're happy, sad, confused. And knowing what the player's feeling will allow you to think of resolutions. If they're feeling bored or annoyed, you can make the area longer, shorter, less grindy, and figure out what you actually need to do to make them feel the intended emotion in that period. Another thing that I see creators doing wrong when they're getting playtest feedback is that they are taking what the creator says very literally, whereas the playtester may have identified a core issue with your game, but their reason and solution might not be correct. So they could be saying that your map is too grindy or too long, but in reality, that mechanic might just be boring or not fun for that particular player. So your job is to take the feedback and interpret it in your way that will actually make your map better, and not just take blindly at face value what they're saying. This is one of the most important tips. I'll say the best to last, and it's not taking advantage of the analytics device. I see most creators, especially new creators, are not using this device. This, instead of watching a live video, this is more of a macro, so you can understand what every player is doing. This specific device is going to allow you to know what mechanics are being used, what mechanics aren't being used, when the player left. And this allows you to make an informed decision on what to change in your map. No guesswork, straight information. So an example could be if you have an escape room, linking up one to each time a player enters a certain room. And if you see a big drop off in a specific room, you know that something about that room needs to be changed. Again, this is where your own interpretation comes into play. So there is still thoughts that need to be done around this information. But yeah, there's so many ways that you can put in the analytics device, and you just need to be creative with that. Hopefully this video was helpful to a new developer or even an experienced one. Subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, watch another video, and use creator code Gismo.